疆问题上，中国政府和中国人民最有发言权，不容任何国家和外部势力干预。面对恐怖主义和极端主义的严峻威胁，新疆维吾尔自治区依法采取包括设立教培中心在内的一系列反恐和去极端化的措施，扭转了新疆安全形势。新疆已经2年多没有发生爆恐事件，社会稳定，民族团结，百姓安居乐业，各族群众的幸福感、获得感、安全感大幅提升。衷心拥护政府的政策举措。中方已经多次就美方召开所谓的促进宗教自由部长级会议，污蔑抹黑中国的宗教政策和中国宗教信仰自由状况，干涉中国内政的错误言行，表明了中方的严正立场。事实上，美方的做法引起了很多国家的反感和反对，不少国家拒绝参与美方组织的此次会议。印尼最大的穆斯林组织负责人日前公开支持中国政府在新疆采取的政策，认为某些西方国家对中方的指责是出于政治目的，并不符合事实。至于美方成立国际宗教自由联盟，这不过是美方打着宗教自由的幌子，推行自己的价值观，干涉别国内政的工具而已，必然遭到世界上多数国家的反对，也必然会四处碰壁，归于失败。我们奉劝美方尊重事实，摒弃偏见，不要再将宗教问题政治化，不要再亵渎宗教的圣名，不要再干涉他国内政，也不要再去试图扮演什么世界警察。
没有新中国，没有共产党，就没有新中国。共产党，没有新中国，没有共产党，就没有新中国。
This gentleman clearly doesn't want us to film. We were met immediately upon getting off the train. Only a couple miles away, there is a camp. So as they sit here and scan our documents, this is all part of the police state.
So the CNN Beijing Bureau just spent a week reporting in the western Chinese province of Xinjiang, and it's not an easy place to do journalism. So we wanted to show you a little bit of what we went through, but I think more importantly, tell you why that matters. Xinjiang is the province where the U.S. says China has detained up to 2 million people, nearly all Muslims, in camps over the last few years. Activists say Beijing has done that to try and eliminate Islam within its borders, and ex-detainees have told CNN they were tortured inside while undergoing political indoctrination. China denies that and says these camps aren't prisons, but voluntary vocational training centers that are being used to not eliminate Islam, only Islamic extremism. Now, China's government says that Xinjiang is wide open for us to freely report there. Maybe in theory, but in reality, that's just not true. For example, upon landing there, our welcome gift was a government tail.
We've already been followed by 3 or 4 guys, including one of them who I've seen follow us from the second we got out of the baggage area.
That would be this man. He and at least a dozen others followed us every single hour of our 6-day trip, never more than 20 feet away. The car, the train station, the hotel, the room next to mine.
So it's a bit of an odd feeling to be in your hotel room at 1 in the morning and knowing that on the other side of this connecting room, which leads to a room next door to mine, there's at least 3 or 4 guys who've been following us around over the past couple weeks.
It felt like intimidation tactics. They wanted us to know that we were being followed. And then, of course, there would be uniformed cops that would show up at odd hours.
It's almost 1 a.m. So I know, but I was sleeping. It just seems unnecessary. Okay. So, this is what happens when you do journalism in Xinjiang.
I've lived here for nearly 4 years, and I've watched as things have gotten tougher and tougher for foreign journalists on all types of different stories. Xinjiang is probably just the most extreme example. But beyond just being followed, there were the more obvious attempts to try and make sure that we saw nothing they didn't want us to. For example, a highway we were on was closed for hours due to an accident nowhere to be seen. Not to mention spontaneous roadblocks that specifically target foreigners and ethnic minorities. Our IDs were checked nearly 50 times in 6 days. And the second you book a flight or a train, the government knows about it. And you can tell that because, well, government officials are waiting for you upon arrival.
They clearly knew we were coming. They met us at the airport. They're checking our visas. They're telling us they want to accompany us for our own safety. But really, this is just stalling tactics. They know it, we know it, and yet this is the game we'll have to play.
China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs say they don't know anything about the harassment we faced, but said Xinjiang is, quote, open and hospitable. The constant tales, the constant harassment, the constant delays, they're more than just inconvenient. They are specific tactics China's government has employed for a long time to prevent journalists from doing their jobs. But in the last few years, there is broad agreement in the foreign journalism community here that it's gotten worse, nowhere more so than Xinjiang. The end result is that it's nearly impossible to freely report on the hundreds of thousands of people that are likely languishing in camps right now, and that means that the rest of the world can't really see what's going on there. This is one of the biggest human rights stories on Earth, and as we saw firsthand, China is actively trying to cover it up.
at this. It's like a city. Your dad's in there. 这不要拍，这个不要拍，好不好，小伙子
？In Xinjiang, displays of police might are everywhere. But there's something here they don't want you to see.
Huge fences all around it, look.
Behind these blue steel walls in a former school is what China calls a vocational training centre. But it looks more like a prison. Nearby, relatives queue up to visit. From above, the grim details can be picked out. Last year, the school had a football pitch. Today, it's covered with what look like accommodation blocks. Watchtowers are visible. On a corner, just outside the camp fence, we stop to speak to a family.
What are you guys doing here?
Some officials try to stop us filming, but another intervenes. Let them speak, she says. I ask who they're visiting. My dad, he replies.
Your dad's in there. 这不要拍，这个不要拍，好不好，小伙子
？Xinjiang's main Muslim minority are known as the Uyghurs. We find many of their homes locked and deserted. Sinister official notices on the doors say the missing are being looked after. One credible estimate suggests up to 1 million people may now be detained. But the BBC has seen new, detailed satellite analysis of dozens of suspected camps across Xinjiang. Few of them look much like schools. This giant compound is surrounded by a high wall with 16 watchtowers. We try to approach the site by car.
Look at this.
Only to discover that it's being expanded on a massive scale.
It's like a city.
Then the police block our way. If this really is all about education, then why the effort to stop us getting close?
Impressive thing is that
the satellite analysts show us a more recent image. It's clear how much the site has grown.
Everything double.
Even more than double.
But the team is able to show that this one camp is part of something much bigger by identifying many other similar secure facilities right across Xinjiang.
All this is new.
Plotting their growth over time shows just how fast they're being built.
Satellites see beyond what the human eye can see. As the years pass, we have detected that the number of infrastructures being built increases, and most significantly in the past 2 years.
And prison design experts tell us this could now be one of the biggest detention facilities in the world, holding 11,000 inmates at the very least. China denies it is detaining Muslims in Xinjiang. In response to the allegations, state TV has been showing classrooms of supposedly grateful adults willingly undergoing re-education. Without this, I might have followed religious extremists, this woman says. From a vegetable field to another one of China's new schools in less than 6 months, complete with watchtowers. We try to film one of them, but once again, while trying to get to the truth, we're asked to leave.